I was thinking about you the other day. I was thinking, you know what? You've got over your ex now. You've gone through all that breakup pain and that heartbreak. You've accepted it's over and you've let them go. And now you're doing all the things that I've told you to do. You're going out on walks, you're seeing your friends, you're working out at the gym, you're eating healthy, you're drinking water. And yet somehow you still feel this void inside, this emptiness, like something's just missing in the world. And you don't know why, right? Because you're over your ex now and you're doing everything you're supposed to. So why are you feeling this way? Well, I know why. Because I was where you are right now. And I'm going to share with you 3 very simple mind techniques that will help you view what you're doing differently. And it could change the way you feel. So let's get into it. Now then, perception. What do I mean by perception? Well, let's go back to the example I gave at the very start of this video. Let's imagine that you've gone through your breakup, you've suffered all the breakup pain, but you've now dealt with that. You've accepted that the breakup's happened, you've let your ex go, and you've moved on. And now you're doing everything that me and everybody else tells you you're supposed to do. You're going out on walks, you're seeing your friends, you're going to the gym, you're eating healthy, you're meditating, you're doing all these great things. And yet every night you sit down and you feel lost. You feel like you've got a void inside. That can be down to perception. So what do I mean? Well, what you're doing right now is you're just going through the motions. Yes, you're completing all these daily tasks each day, but you're not recognising that they're positive. Your brain, your subconscious, hasn't attached positivity to those tasks. And that's why you feel like you're not achieving anything. And that's why you've got a void inside. So how do you change that? Well, you need to change your perception. You need to change the perception of the things that you're doing. So I'll use myself as an example. So my daily routine is I'll wake up in the morning, I'll take my dog out for a walk, I'll come home, I'll get changed and I'll go to the gym. I'll come home from the gym, I'll meditate, I'll journal, then I'll eat my breakfast. Then I'll do my day's work, and then after work I'll go out for another walk. Then on the night time I might do some box breathing, and then I might go and see my friends. But what I've been able to do is change my perception of all of those things. So my brain now sees every single one of them as being positive. Every single time I do one of those, my brain goes, oh, that was positive, so we must be positive. And it makes me feel better. You're not doing that right now. You're just doing them for doing them's sake because I've told you to or somebody else has told you to. But there's no point doing them unless you recognise that they're good for you and that they're positive. So this is what you need to do. You need to take a moment, you need to sit down and you need to write a list of all those things that you're doing each day. And it might be completely different to what I'm doing. It might not be the gym, it might be going to yoga, or it might be, from 8:30 till 9 every morning, you answer your work emails. Whatever it is, make your list. Once your list is done, then I want you to sit down and for each one, I want you to write a statement as to why it's positive. What is positive about doing your work emails from 8:30 till 9 every morning? What is positive about taking your dog for a walk at 6 o'clock? What is positive about ringing a friend every night for a quick chat? What are the positives in those things? Write them down on your list. What you then do is every single day, you remind yourself as to why those tasks are positive. Those things you're repeating every day, why are they positive? Once you start reminding yourself of that, over time, your subconscious will start listening. So rather than you spending a day on autopilot, just going through the motions and feeling that void of a night time, instead, your brain will go, oh, these are all positive. That means we must be positive. And you will feel a whole lot better. So when I eat my healthy breakfast every morning, once I've done it, my subconscious already recognises that was positive and it makes me feel better. You must change the perception of the things you're doing each day. Stop doing it on autopilot. Okay, the next one is the power of association. Now, what do I mean by the power of association? What I actually mean is it's taking your everyday things that you're doing and you're associating them with this future vision that you've got for your life. And what it does is it helps you to feel like every single day you're progressing towards whatever that future vision is. Instead of just going through the motions and then sitting there every night feeling like my life's going nowhere, I've got no direction, I'm not achieving anything. You feel differently. You feel like you have achieved. You feel like you have took a step forward. And this is how you do it, right? First thing you need to do is create a future vision. Now, I'm not talking about going, oh, I just want to be happy. No, you need to imagine, where do you want your life in 5 years' time? And be specific about it. Not just, I want to be happy. What do you want? How do you want to feel? How do you want to look? Where do you want to live? What's your environment going to be like? What sort of relationships do you want? What about your career? Have you got your own business? Have you changed career? Really get specific of what you want your future vision to look like. So I'll share mine, right? So in the future, I want a bigger house. And what I've always wanted is a cinema room. So I want a cinema room in my house. I also want a hot tub in my garden with a pond. For my business, I want to build my business, but my big one is I want to open up a wellness centre in my local area. That's somewhere where I can visualise it, right? It's got a cafe, it's got a lounge area, it's got a hall where you can do yoga, meditation, sport, whatever. It's also got interview rooms where I could get therapists in or do life coaching. But it's a community-based setting where people in the local community who are feeling lost, alone, isolated, or just going through a rough time, where they can come every day and feel part of a community. That's one of my big dreams for 5 years' time. So I'm really specific about my future vision. I can see what my wellness centre looks like. I can see what my house looks like, what my cinema room looks like. I can see it all. So I believe it, it's real, and I'm passionate about it. The next step is I take all of my daily tasks and I associate every one with one part of that future vision. So what do I mean? Okay, so some of them are easier said than done, right? But the easy one is this. So every day I set half an hour of my time to do studies. Now what do I mean by that is, I want to increase my experience in certain aspects. So I want to know more about sales. I want to know more about content. I want to know more about advertising. I want to know more about business, right? So half an hour every day I set aside to do some form of studying around one of those subjects. Now it's easy for me to associate that with my future vision, right? Because part of my future vision is buying a bigger house, so I need to build my business, opening up a wellness centre, so again, I need to build my business. So those are essential business skills that I'm going to need to get there. So it's easy, right? There's a direct association. But there's others that are not quite as easy, but it can still be done. So for example, I take my dog for a walk every morning at 6 o'clock before I go to the gym. I've associated taking my dog for a walk with some aspect of that future vision. And this is what I've done. I've gone, okay, what advantages does it give me? What benefits does it give me taking my dog out for a walk at 6 o'clock? Obviously it's beneficial for my dog, but what about me? What does it give me? Well, it gives me a number of things, right? Helps me get my steps in. Helps me get out in the fresh air. Helps me get out in nature. Feel good about myself. And the statistics say, and the science says, that when we're out in nature and we're out in fresh air, it reduces our stress and increases our self-esteem. Yeah? Plus, getting my steps in makes me healthy, keeps me on top of things, makes me fit. So those benefits provide me with what? They provide me with more energy, more confidence, more self-esteem. If I've got more energy, I'll get more work done. If I've got more confidence, I'll take bigger risks. If I've got more self-esteem, I'll believe in myself more. 3 essential ingredients I need to take me all the way to what I want in my future vision. So I've now been able to associate taking my dog for a walk with opening up a wellness centre in 5 years. Now you might sit there and go, that's not a real association, is it? It doesn't matter. As long as your subconscious believes it is, it'll work. You need to sit down and you need to create your future vision. And be specific like mine. Actually visualise it. What does that house look like if it's a house? What does your business look like if it's a business? Get specific. Then write down those daily tasks and work out an association with each one of those tasks with that future vision. What will happen then is, rather than you feeling like you're just going through the motions every day, you will feel like you're progressing. So if I have an off day, If I don't go to the gym and I don't meditate and I don't box breathe and I don't journal, I don't do this and I don't do that, but I still take my dog for a walk at 6 o'clock, then I feel like I've took a step towards my future vision. I still feel like the day's been a success. Or if all I do today is meditate, I've already associated meditating with something on my future vision. So again, it feels like I've took a step forward. The power of association is strong and it's real. You need to start using it today, and I promise you that void you're feeling will start to disappear, because every day feels like a step forward, and that's what you're currently missing. And the last one is the awe effect. Now let me ask you a question. Have you ever sat outside in the summer months and really took in the night sky and all the stars? And you've had that moment of realisation where you've recognised just how vast the universe actually is and just how small and insignificant we are. That's an example of the awe effect. Now, I'm a big advocate for spending time in nature. It's one of your 5 pillars of self-esteem, and it's been proven that being out in nature helps to reduce anxiety and reduce stress. But the awe effect is much more than that. The awe effect is about going out in nature and seeing its vastness, just seeing how big the world actually is. Whether that's taking a trip to the countryside, climbing a mountain, visiting a waterfall, whatever. And once you do that, our brains start to recognise not only how small and insignificant we are, but just how small and insignificant our worries are too. You see, at the moment you might have a load of worries, a load of stresses going on, or it might just be one major one. Whatever it is, it's overpowering, right? It's overwhelming, it's all you can think about. You can use the awe effect to take its power away, to start recognising that in the grand scheme of things, these are not as big and overwhelming as I'm making them out to be. Now, does it take your worries away? Of course not. It's not a magic wand. But what the awe effect does do is it helps you to recognise just how insignificant they actually are. That actually, in the grand scheme of things, not only your worries, but us as well, are just a grain of sand. Once you do that, you will feel so much more in control, so much more positive, and it'll help to start filling that void that you're feeling inside. That is the awe effect, and I recommend you start doing it today. So there we have it. 3 simple yet really powerful mind techniques that you can introduce today. We've got perception and changing the way you view your daily tasks to recognise the positive aspects of each. We've got the power of association, where you start associating those tasks with that dream future that you want to build. And then we've got the awe effect, getting out in vast nature and recognising just how small and insignificant not only we are, but our worries are too. These are the very techniques I used that helped me to finally fill that void inside and become happy again. Because life wasn't just about getting over the breakup, it's about getting over myself. And I was able to do it with these. Give them a try, let me know how you get on. And if you're new here and you've not yet subscribed and you like this sort of stuff all about breakups and self-esteem, then make sure you hit that button. I release videos every single week and I won't want you to miss out. But for now, nice one for watching, and I'll see you in the next. Laters.